I've got a lot to say on this topic actually. I'm going to tell you a story about it. So, I know a little bit about stress, right? I did an economics degree. There's some hard modules in there. End up getting a first, so I was like, obviously somehow handled the stress. And then also, now I've been working at the Big Four for like nearly 5 years, and like you go through periods where it's like very busy, and like you go through periods where like obviously it's not as busy, but the busy periods like everyone has stress. So I'll talk about like how I handle stress and like yeah, I'll tell you a story actually, because I'm one of the most like I'll say least like I want to say least I don't get stressed as easy as other people because I say that because I'll tell you a story. So my dad and I, there was a point where like years ago, so we both played cricket. He was younger back then, and he used to play for like the first team, and I used to play for the first team because I was just getting old enough and good enough to play at that level. And then so we would drive together to on a Saturday to the game, and then like I remember we were late, and then he was like getting stressed, and it was always it was always my fault as well when we were late. And I would say, I said to him that time, I said, look, don't stress, we're already late now. You stressing is not gonna get us there earlier. I shouldn't have said that, to be fair, because he did get pissed off at me when I said that. He was like, oh, because of you were late, and now like you're saying that. Anyways, my whole point was like, you can't change the outcome if the outcome was already like, you're running late. But obviously, do what you can to not be late. But the moral of the story is, essentially, I'm telling you that story to show you that I don't get stressed easily, and I still do. So in busy season, when it comes to like busy season, we have to like work. Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, we have to work like Saturdays and Sundays, and then even like up until like I'll say like midnight, sometimes later or earlier, depends right on the week and the deadline. But this is like through February and March, and because you have a lot of work to do, you're definitely going to be stressed because oh, I need to get this done by this date, right? The deadline is what causes the stress, right? And managing, like, so if I'm managing the team, there's like stress of like making sure the work's done on time. So obviously, I do get stressed as well because I was telling that story of like me not getting stressed, but this is a story of me getting stressed. So, so you can relate. Like every busy season, I get sick, I get ill, and that's because of the stress. I'm telling you, stress makes you like it's no good. Like every busy season, I'm sick, and I'll have to start take a few days out, and it happens every busy season. The busy season's like twice a year, or whatever, and the reason is because when you're stressed, and also they say you don't sleep as well. I think that's one, right? Because you're just thinking about what you got to do. That's why before you sleep, you should wind down and like have like a wind down routine before going to bed. Because if you go to sleep stressed, you're gonna not have a great sleep. But that's just one thing. Another thing is that stress actually causes your immune system to be weaker. There's loads of factors. Basically, stress is not good for you. And I'm just telling you a story actually of like, basically, like, there's two brothers in Zanzibar, and one brother, he was like, I think he's like 36, and the other brother's like 40, yeah. And so the brother who's 40 lives in Zanzibar, and the brother who's 36 lives in London, and he's been living there for like 15 years or whatever. And I saw both of them, and one of them was like, the one who's living in London, 36, looks much older than the one who's living in Zanzibar. And the reason for that, right, they admit it as well, is because the one in Zanzibar has a stress-free life. He doesn't, like, he's living like near a beach, right? He doesn't have to worry about getting stuff done by a certain time. Whereas the one in London is always on the move, busy, and like I can see it from like the face. Like the guy who lives in London is probably aged more than the brother who lives in Zanzibar. And it's insane to think about. It's a 4 years difference, but the younger brother looks older than the older brother, right? But imagine that over like decades more, like over when they get to like the 60s, how much of a difference it will be then, if that's the case now at when they're 40. Basically, what I'm trying to say is like stress is no good for you and your health. No, it's not good for if you want to look good as well, like long term. No matter how you look now, just the main key takeaway is don't stress, right? Try and like, and then there's ways of handling stress as well. So my best advice, so when I get during busy season, how I handle stress, I still take stress, but I'll try and exercise a few times a week. So I go to the gym a few times a week. I'll try and like play football or cricket or golf, whatever, a couple times a week. So basically just move. I'll try and like, if I can, try and socialise here and there. That's the main thing as well. Like, you know, socialising is key. Like when you're busy, it's harder to, and you have to definitely say no to a lot of plans, and you know, make work the priority sometimes. But just have a balance. Like, you know, give yourself that time, an hour or so, to catch up with friends, because it can be really good for you to just talk about stuff. That, and I'd say journal. Honestly, I feel like journaling has. I don't journal every day or whatever, but I've recommended it to a few friends, and because I started doing it during COVID, and it's really like it gets thoughts on paper. If you're stressing about stuff, you know, get your thoughts down on paper, you get clarity of mind, it's good for you. Another way is like, if you're unsure on what to do and you're stressing about a decision, write on a page the pros and cons of it, and write your like thoughts on like both sides, and it makes you come to a clearer, you know, thought out answer as well. So like, that's another thing why you should journal. But yeah, definitely journal. Another thing I would say is meditate. Let me show you Leo. He always just comes and sits next to me. You alright, mate? But anyways, another thing I would say is like meditate. You don't have to do every single thing I'm going to tell you. I'm just giving you some tips. So like when I say meditate, I'm not saying become a monk, right? Go live in the mountains. Like I'm not the last person you think who'd meditate. I'm not a very outgoing person. Bao, who's known to be like, you know, an big extrovert, and you wouldn't never think that I meditate, right? And I do. I try to when I can, and honestly, I feel like you enjoy life more as well when you meditate. So like, you might have everything, right, but you don't enjoy stuff. So imagine, so for example, I'll tell you a story. I drive a BMW 7 Series, right? And again, I always say this like not to like show off, so you can relate to what I'm trying to say, and I have like a good job and everything. Like, dude, I'm like sitting in the garden right now making this video. I have a good life, thanks to God. But sometimes I don't appreciate it as much, because obviously gratitude is one thing. You always have to be grateful for what you have to actually enjoy it. But another thing is meditation, because, for example, when I'm driving that car, like, and I used to have an Astra Vauxhall for 8 years before getting a BMW. So I got a BMW I had an Astra Vauxhall white one since I was 17 to like 25, and then I bought a BMW 5 Series. Long story short, it got, you know, something that ran off, blah blah, and I bought the 7 Series after, and like when you're driving the car, you're going from A to B, but technically sometimes you don't enjoy it because you're thinking about, oh, I need to do this next, I need to, like, you know, I've got to do this, and oh, this is what happened. You're in your mind. But then if you like meditate and you have like, you're in the moment, you can actually enjoy the car. I can, like, you know, I've got the heated seats, heated steering wheel, the massage seats. When you're in the moment, you enjoy whatever you have more. So the car, when I'm driving the journey, if I'm like in the moment, I'm like, oh, this is actually, you know, a really nice drive. Whereas if I'm in my thoughts, it's literally the same thing as having a Vauxhall Astra. There's nothing wrong with Vauxhall Astra, but I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm in my thoughts, right? So I'm not really enjoying the car. If that makes sense to you, right? What I'm trying to say is when you meditate, like, you enjoy whatever you have in your life, whatever it is, more. So just because meditation gets you in the present moment, you're always in your thoughts. Like as humans, we're just you're sort of wired to basically be in your thoughts, anyways, right? Think about it, because, you know, to survive, you had to like get food and, you know, like survive. And so essentially, like, that's how our brains are wired. And now, like, you know, now we've come to such an age and time where you don't need to always be thinking. Like, your mind, your thoughts should be a tool for you to improve your life, not take away from your life. So for example, you know, when you're doing X, Y, Z, be fully in that moment. For example, if you're eating food, fully enjoy like eating that food, like that meal you're eating, because if you're thinking about, oh, what you have to do next or this or that, you're not enjoying that nice meal. And that goes with anything. So yeah, that's that, meditate. And that helps with stress, because, you know, if you meditate, you have less thoughts, you know, and sometimes things you're thinking about repeatedly, it's like what use is that to you anyways? If you had the same thought 20 times, I need to get this done, you know you need to get it done, right? Just get it done. Like, rethinking that is not going to do anything. So essentially the meditation helps with like becoming aware of the thoughts you repeatedly think. But yeah, enough on that. I could do a separate video if you're interested. I actually went to a meditation retreat in Thailand post the international pageant, Mr. Global. So I had a choice. I was like, because I love, when I'm away, I love like just going out and like just going out, like partying or whatever, because, you know, if I'm in England, you don't get the chance to as much because of work. So if I'm away, I'd use that time to just, you know, go out and party or whatever, because, you know, I'm in my 20s, why not? But then after the Mr. Global competition, I had a choice. I was like, you know, should I, last 3 days left in Thailand after the competition, should I party or should I go to a meditation retreat? And I chose the meditation retreat, and it was such a good choice. Honestly, I was there for 3 days, and it aligned perfectly with, like, they were having like this meditation retreat. It's like in near Chiang Mai, and do it every like month. They have this like organised course where loads of like tourists go and they like go into the program. I was very lucky that the days I went, it aligned with those sort of days. But yeah, like I can tell you, I can make a separate video on that. That was amazing. But like, and I like, it's like anything else in life as well. If you want to go to a gym and like get like, for example, a bigger chest or whatever, you're gonna have to do repetitions, right? It's the same for meditation. And I'm saying that's like sort of tell me, because I'm not consistent with it as well. I need to be, even though I can do like 5-10 minutes a day, and at the meditation retreat, it's like 3 hours. But that's enough on that. Back to the stress bit, because it's all linked. You know, exercise, socialise, clarity of thought, which comes from journaling, meditation, and write things down to your to-do list. So you're like, just make a to-do list and write, okay, what do I need to get done? And have it in terms of urgency and priority. Like, you know, if something can wait until next week, why are you going to stress about that? You've written it down, you know it's going to happen next week. And then, yeah, so once you have a to-do list, you know like what you need to do, and have like a timeline as well. So if you have a deadline in 5 days, make small like actionable plans. So in a day I'm going to get to this point A, you know, in 2 or 3 days I'm going to get to this point. So that way you know you're on track, so you don't stress. So that's that. Make a to-do list, be on top of things. But yeah, those are my sort of best advice. But I just want to say, in terms in general in life, just don't stress as much, because it's not good for you. And yeah, like I work for the Big Four, and I'm telling myself that, you know, like even when it's not busy, you can be stressed because like you've got people chasing you for work. Like, hey, where's this bow? You know, like just don't stress as much. You know, you've got to get it done, but don't stress, if that makes sense, because stressing doesn't solve anything, right? I'll take the action, but don't like ruin your health over it. That's my sort of takeaway. But yeah, don't stress is what I want to say. And if you like this video, give it a like and comment what you want me to make a video on. If it's that meditation retreat, if it's the international pageant, or you know, playing semi-pro cricket, whatever it is, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Let me end it on Leo, actually. Leo, you alright? You alright? Get up, Leo, up. No, he's too lazy now. Alright, anyways, I'll see you all in the next video. Shall we aim, this is like probably my second video on YouTube. Shall we aim to get like, let's say 100 likes? Like that'd be quite sick. That's the second video. Anyways, I'll see you all in a bit.